Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Great. Today, our administration will present the results of a racial climate survey, along with some recommendations to correct perceived problems. I've reviewed the presentation posted on our Senate website, and I have a few concerns that I hope Craig will address in his presentation, or that this body can explore in follow-up questions. First, why has the racial climate survey and recommendations moved directly to the Senate without consulting EODAC? Had this gone through EODAC, our faculty, with an interest and expertise in the subject, could have had an input. What efforts has the administration made to include viewpoint diversity in the interpretation of this data and producing the recommendations that appear in the presentation? Why hasn't the administration consulted any of the campus's experts on the field of race and ethnicity? The report relies on survey data that only accounts for 6.3% of students who self-selected. What measures were taken to ensure that the students who are most anxious about the issue are not the narrow band of students who self-selected to take the survey? How does this severity of this issue compare to other campus issues? The most recent district climate survey says that BC is actually quite welcoming to racial difference, but that there is another type of difference for which BC is far less welcoming. Why are we skipping the issue that our data says is more urgent and focusing on the issue that our data says is less urgent? Additionally, survey data is inferior to revealed preference data. That is, any statistician will tell you that you should place the priority on what people actually do, not on what they say they think is happening. What does BC's hiring data say we actually do? And why are we ignoring that data? Data on the BC Senate page shows that BC is hiring one racial group at a strangely low rate and hiring another racial group at a strangely high rate. Should we not look at the actual occurrences and address the actual issues? Instead, we're relying on the perceptions of 6.3% of students polled during the pandemic who may have never even stepped on campus. Finally, I should point out that there are quite a few solutions proposed in this report that are not rational inferences from the data. For example, if students feel unsafe about race, what evidence is there that racial segregating them into racial safe spaces would somehow remedy this issue? And which minority groups would be entitled to participate in the safe spaces? Are Hispanic students, who constitute a campus majority, included or excluded? Are white students, who are a minority, included or excluded? And what are racial healing circles? And again, what evidence suggests that they have any efficacy? And what does racial conscious leadership mean, race conscious leadership, and what evidence supports its efficacy? Is there any evidence that the recommendations in this report would be more effective than returning to our Habits of Mind initiative that focused on empowering and strengthening students to succeed? Thank you.